the Project Advantage podcast. Here today with Bob Saraf with 11O Pickleball. Bob, excited to have you today to talk about pickleball, getting the project done, and everything in between.
Yeah, excited to be here. Last steps for us, so it's been a long time coming, so we're excited.
Awesome. Well, first, if you could just tell everyone, about 11O, about the facility, about the vision of the project. That'd be a great starting point.
Yeah, so 11-0 Pickleball is a 9-court indoor facility in Foxborough, Massachusetts at Patriot Place, so where Gillette Stadium is. We have 6 courts outside seasonal, 9 courts inside, 3 food and beverage concepts, event space coming for phase 2, but so right now we're just opening the pickleball facility, the 9 courts, and then the main bar and restaurant area for December 1st, we're gonna opening.
Awesome, exciting, and I guess I have to ask, since it's right by the stadium, have any Patriots players come over and played yet? Any Patriot cheerleaders?
So the cheerleaders will be at our grand opening, so they'll be there December 1st. So we'll have some of the cheerleaders there. We'll have Pat Patriot. I think we'll have Sly Fox, just the Revolution mascot as well. So we'll have the mascots here, but they'll be by. Patriot players are big into pickleball, as you've probably seen Drake May plays, and I know that their offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, plays a lot of pickleball locally too. He lives around the area, so people see him on the courts all the time. So it's great to see him out there.
I wonder how the coaches feel about the guys playing pickleball in terms of risk showing up on the IR list.
Yeah, that's one big thing with pickleball. Pickleball is a big injury risk, but for athletes that stretch and maintain their bodies, it's not as big of a risk. But again, it's winning streaks going for the Pats right now. So keep the
Absolutely.
winning going. Maybe they can play pickleball in the off season. Keep
Absolutely.
them off the courts for now, though.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see some of them at the grand opening. So 11O started outdoor facility, right? And you moved towards indoor facility more recently.
Yeah, so we started doing like pop-ups and events locally around 2.5 years ago. Just opened our outdoor courts this past summer. So there's a grand opening out there. So they're closed for the season. And the indoor facility, again, we've been working in this project for about 2 years. Construction's only been about 7 months, but we're just getting to the final point of phase 1 that we can actually get open to the public, which is real exciting.
Very exciting. And take us through a little bit. I mean, I'd love to just understand, you know, getting such a big project underway. Um, what what was the process like? Was it, even in just at a high level, looking back, did it go as expected? Were there bumps in the road? Um, just interested to hear overall how the project went.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely had some bumps. So we went back and forth between a couple locations on campus. So our architect, Bergmeyer, local in Boston, they were the spearheading of our design team with Jody, our CEO. And then I've worked very closely with them and our general contractor, Bowden. We've got another local company. I think the owner of the company actually lives in Sharon, Mass. So he's like 10 minutes away. They can pop in all the time. They'll be at a grand opening. Same with the principal for Bergmeyer. Everyone's local. So we try to stick with everyone local, which is a big thing for us, keeping things local that way. They're more part of the 11 community family rather than just a transactional kind of normal thing you get from a GC where they come in, they're done, and they're gone. But I mean, they have a spot. They had sponsorships on our outdoor courts, both of them. It's a great two companies to work with. They've been kind of instrumental on getting us to this point and kind of kicking the project to the final stages now.
And of course, we worked most closely, or you worked with our team most closely on the lighting side. I mean, when you get to sort of these physical nuts and bolts parts of the project where you have to make choices, how did you guys actually go down the path of finding us? Or what was the process of sort of selecting your lighting vendors, or your turf vendors, the different teams that you bring in?
So our original plans actually were indirect light. We are gonna have white ceilings, indirect light, and we had a vendor for that. That was just did local. They did, I think, the local pickleball courts in Medfield, Mass. And then our architect decided black ceiling for more of the customer experience because we're not just a pickleball facility. We're basically an entertainment space. So we wanted to mix the best of both worlds. We wanted the best lights you could get for pickleball, but not at the cost of the experience. And then we wanted the experience for entertainment without sacrificing the perfect lighting for pickleball. So
So
it was
some
a
of us
lot.
are better eaters and drinkers on the sideline
Exactly, yeah.
in the
Some
court.
people can dink better, some people can drink better, and that's just
Yeah.
the way it is. But we have it was a lot of research, sleepless nights talking to countless facilities across the country. So there was I mean, we talked with owners from anywhere from North Carolina all the way to California, people that were did these projects, went through these pains. We asked the same questions that you were asking me earlier is, what's something that you wish you did different? Most of it was some of it was food and beverage. We wanted bigger food and beverage. We wanted less food and beverage. We wanted to tackle food and beverage, make that more of a priority instead of pickleball. And the lighting was another big thing. People, if there's not, if it's just a bright white hospital room, which people want for pickleball, like white walls, they want white everything. It's just you don't want to spend as much time there when you're not playing pickleball. It's just pickleball. So we've kind of married the two together, working with Michael, trying to find the best lighting that we could, and I think it came out great.
Yeah, and Bob, you were just showing me before too out your window there, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
let's
if it's
go there.
easy for you to show it. So we have
Yeah.
the facility here. It's looking great, uh, and soon it will be filled with people.
Exactly, yeah, so we actually yes, that later today, we'll have there's workers down there now, but we'll have 40 staff members on site today for first training. So we'll do a little intro to pickleball class in there, and then we'll hit the ground running with that.
So Bob, as we were going through the process, there was a lot of design work looking into what the lighting layout should be. As you mentioned, do you go up lighting? Do you go more typical down lighting? Um, could you just walk through a bit, you know, the lighting design process really from your end as an end user? Because I think lighting design, when people hear it, it sounds very, it's very architectural, very engineering based, but in reality, it's something for people like you who are doing projects on the ground floor. So like if you could just walk through what that process was like and what people could expect.
Yeah, so absolutely, I mean, there's a lot obviously, a lot more goes into lighting than what people see, whether it's from lighting control panels to controlling one court at a time. So we have glow lights in the facility as well. So we're gonna have glow in the dark lights. So we have a lighting control panel that can shut everything off at once. We can dim the lights. We can shut off one court at a time. A lot of thought went into these lights, like working with Michael and your team, and also our electrical engineers, just to design the perfect like foot candle specs, everything from adding one extra light for no reason, just because it made a 0.1% difference and kept it the same throughout the facility. It was just a lot of thought went into these things back and forth of what would be best, where on the court the light should be, whether it's over the baselines, over the end lines, over the sidelines, whatever it be, just to keep the glares off of people's eyes. Lights with lenses, lights directed off a white wall rather than a white ceiling. Having like diffusers in there. So many things went into the process, and I think we picked the perfect combo for our facility.
Yeah, and one thing that we've definitely seen is it's tough because there's so many people who have an opinion and have experience. Who do you lean on? And I think you know, if you can when a company can find a manufacturing partner like you guys did, the benefit is that we're agnostic to which light we help supply to you. It's more about just making sure you get the right fit. And so for any pickleball facility going down the path you guys are, I think that's the key with any of your vendors is trying to find someone who has the options and has the experience of doing this over and over again. When you came to us, we'd already done hundreds and hundreds of pickleball facilities. So it's not a like, oh, okay, yeah, this is an interesting project. Let's try to figure it out for you, and hopefully it goes well. But I'm sure you found that also in some other types of products that you had to procure, where it was, you know, there was maybe more of a need for you guys to sort of think through, like, well, do we go with this or do we go with this type of product. Were there other areas within procurement where you found that?
Oh, everything from fencing. We have turf on our walls for sound dampening and also almost like a little cushion, aesthetics as well. But we went, I mean, everything from our check-in desk for, we have a glass entry wall when you walk in the space. It's a 20-foot wall that you see of just glass that overlooks our first court when you walk in. We have a paddle-shaped, like entryway, arch entryway. When you walk in, we have Patriot paddles that are gonna be displayed on the wall. Fencing, we wanted nice fencing. We didn't want typical chain link. We wanted to go someone again, we went with a local company actually that's out of, Patriot Place, so it's a Walpole Outdoors for the fencing. They're actually installing the fencing now. If you look down there, carrying fence panels right now, right on the courts. They're still
Oh,
installing
awesome.
it down there, but it's
We'll give them a
amazing.
shout out on the podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're amazing. They're a great company to work with. Local out of Walpole, but they're national brand now. They started obviously local down the street from here. They actually are one of our key sponsors. They're sponsoring our center court bar, so it's Walpole Center Court Bar is the name of that. So they're a great company to work with. The team's been great so far. Glad we worked with them. It's just like you guys, just finding a company that everyone that gets involved just kind of just joins together and creates the best they can because again it's not just a transaction. It's a transaction for the community and for just the joining of the companies rather than just here's the lights, we'll ship them to you and that's it.
Yeah, and you want people to be comfortable in the space, as you said. For you guys too, it's not just people playing. It's also people who are showing up for dinner and drinks while maybe their friends are on court.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's we're building pickleball for the community. We don't want it just to be people showing up, play pickleball and leaving. We want them to stay, hang out, just build a community around 11-0 and not just pickleball. We want it to be everything, not just pickleball here.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, so as you're coming towards the end of the project, what was the single hardest, if there's anything you can point to, the single hardest part of bringing this to a reality? Is there anything in particular that sticks out?
I mean, capital raise definitely was a fun one for us, but for the actual construction point, once that was done, it really was timeline. We wanted to get open. It's like we're still pushing. We wanted to get open in November to early December, just so we're open for the cold weather. We didn't want to spend all this time, effort, going crazy, then open our facility when FIFA World Cup comes on property next summer. So we wanted to make sure that we had about 6 months of runtime to just batten any of the hatches down and make sure everything is good and team staff is all trained up, ready to go before this campus gets taken over by the World Cup, which we all know is going to be crazy here. But I think that was the biggest thing for us is timelines was tough. We really started, I mean, we decided designing this maybe 2.5 years ago. The dream came to life then. We worked with a craft group, which has been great. Same with the Patriot Place team to get this lease done in a timely manner. But then once we kind of signed the lease, it was less than a year ago at this point when we signed that. So from design to construction completion, it's going to be almost a 9 month project at the end of the day.
Well, it's coming up. It's coming up
It's
soon.
coming up. It's coming. Every time I look at the calendar, I don't believe it. It's going to be like right now. It's 11 days away. It doesn't. We lose a couple days with Thanksgiving, so it's coming around quick.
I mean, it's one of the things we've seen on our end too, is so many projects have just been getting pushed back because supply issues, you know, companies um, thinking that they're buying something that's in stock and all of a sudden it's not. And, that alone can push your timeline out. And, in something like pickleball, if all of a sudden you can't get nets or you can't get the right paint to put down on the courts, that can push you back a month or two.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's so that, like we're lucky in the sense that and that's another reason we chose these like local companies like LED lighting supply. We delayed ordering the lights, and then we needed them within 2 days. I had to go drive up to New Hampshire to pick them up. I thought I was driving to Texas to pick them up, but luckily Michael was able to get them
We
to New
made your
Hampshire.
life easy.
I know, and well, and the best thing is when I went there to pick them up, I forget who helped me load the truck up. He said, "Oh, these lights are the best for pickleball. Everyone that we install them loves them." So I was like, "Your team knows it. So where that made it really just validated the decision then to do that. And then the same thing with like the nets. Franklin Sports is one of our sponsors. They're local to Stoughton. So we have nets on site because they drop them off in a couple days rather than a couple
Months
weeks for yeah, exactly. A
or yeah.
couple weeks or months. So they're like, okay, we're one of your sponsors. Let's get you what you guys need to get open. Stops any delays that way as well.
So with the facility, obviously World Cup's coming up, but how about the people at more recreational level? How are you sort of designing the club around all the different um, you know, profession levels?
Yeah, so
Someone
we
like me who's gonna, stumble around the court versus someone like you who, is a real competitor out there.
yeah, so most of our programming is actually going to be designed around the beginner to intermediate player. Again, that's 75% of pickleball players. So we tailor our programming to that. We will have some advanced programming, but we have a membership program, not mandatory to be come to the club. It's just a open, almost an open play seasonal membership that we do, which has free open plays and they're ranked by skill level. So we'll have beginner skill level on courts 1, 2, and 3. Courts 4, 5, 6 will be intermediate, and then the advanced people on the other courts. So you can stay away if they're intimidating over there. And then we do a lot of social programming. Even our grand opening tournament that we have is not Duper rated. I don't know if you know what Duper is. It's the rating they use for pickleball. But so it's not Duper rated, so you can play with someone that you wouldn't normally. You can have fun. It's not as stressful. Your rating won't get attacked if you play with like I'm playing with my wife who's not they're very different skill levels and we don't really get to play together that often because if you enter a tournament together,
'Cause she's better than you, right?
of course, of course.
Yes.
She was a
Yep.
volleyball player growing up, so she is she can hit the ball hard when it's over her head, that's for sure. But it's tough to play. It's like so we try to tailor our stuff knowing that impact on like me. It's like okay, I can't play. We played. That's how we started playing pickleball. You just play with your close friends, and then it kind of separates those groups because the better you get, the different groups you want to go play with, and then you leave those people behind. So we try to make sure that doesn't happen here, and it's going to happen all the time. But we really tailor our programming around bringing those groups together that normally at other facilities you'd see never playing on the same court together.
So do you see most people who are coming into pickleball, are they coming from other racket sports, or are they just sort of they're seeing the buzz about it and they're showing up for their first time having never picked up a racket before?
That's most of what you see. I think it's the ones that transitions from other racket sports takes them a while to do so. Because a lot of tennis players think it's beneath them at first, and then once they start playing, then it's an addiction. But the beginners that come in, if you've never played a racket sport, it takes you probably an extra week or so to get the hang of things and get in a confident position to go out there on your own and play and like an open play. So we do a lot of like intro to pickleballs followed by new player clinics just so you kind of feel the ropes of it, get out there, and then the confidence builds after 2 weeks. A tennis player, squash player within an hour is like, oh, I'm taking over the world. I'm going pro. So it's a different entry levels for them. It's really not an entry level for someone that was racket sports before. Once they learn the rules, it's game over. They're intermediate without kind of stepping on the court. They come in at an intermediate level.
So I was a 3-0 squash player. I actually was the captain of my team when we won the league championship. This was what was this like 10 years ago probably. So I at least have a shot of being able to pick it up.
Oh yeah, it's just the angle that you're hitting the ball now because squash players are hitting low to high. Pickleball, you don't want you're not ripping the ball like from your ankles all the time.
Well, we were talking yesterday, just ahead of coming down to the grand opening about like, oh, maybe we should get LED lighting supply rackets made
You
to bring
definitely
down
should.
for the grand
You
opening.
definitely should.
Uh, but yeah, I feel like every company should have their own pickleball rackets. This is probably a
Yeah, absolutely. I know Frank like we're gonna get some at some point, but again, we have the Patriots paddles, if people wanna play with the Patriot paddles when they're here. So we have those for, like, demos and stuff like that. And then Franklin Sports sends us a bunch of paddles, but they do custom paddles that we're talking to them about. So your company could probably if you did want a couple, you should reach out to them and see if that's something they can do for you guys. I don't know what I don't know if there's a minimum. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Etsy, you can get something made on Etsy in 2 seconds.
Yeah, Etsy, we can get the 5 sets that we need for right
Exactly,
now.
yeah, exactly.
Through Franklin, the 500 sets are probably a little excessive.
You can just sell them. Just put them in a package for everyone. Every light shipment you go out over a certain dollar amount, pop in some LED supply paddles.
Yeah, with a flyer for 11:00 for them to go play. Yeah,
I love that.
absolutely.
Great idea.
Um, but, good. Well, I guess, Bob, I guess the last thing would be just, again, um, in New England, I mean, as as we've talked about, we're all local here in New England. Pickleball is blowing up across the world, but for anyone who is local, if you could again just give the details on the grand opening and after the grand opening, what people can expect who want to come down and check the place out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we are at Patriot Place, 340 Patriot Place, former Christmas tree shop, right next to Trader Joe's. We'll be open December 1st to the public. You can download our app or go to 11o.com or 11o Pickleball in the App Store, Android and Apple. I don't know if that's what's called iOS. I think it's iOS. Yeah. So Android and Apple. And then from there on, we're open Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then Friday, Saturday, we're open till midnight. So 7 a.m. to midnight on those days. Open plays every day that you can come in and pay. If you're not a member, it's $15 for an open play. Most of our other programming will be roughly around like $20, $25, depending on what it is. We do have a lot of like brunch programming that part of the package is you'll get a mimosa sort of breakfast with that. We'll do drinks and drinks on Friday night, which is really just a big party. We'll have some DJs every once in a while, some live music, and we'll do glow in the dark pickleball as well, like monthly. We have a lot of fun programming coming up, and we're just excited for this to go live.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to see you in a few weeks, and we'll get all the links up for any of the listeners who are interested in learning more and excited to kick things off with you guys.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob.
All right, have a good one.
Appreciate you joining.